Well, we're almost into October. these leaves are all falling off. I'll wait till they're all off before I start clearing them up. And these flowers are still producing a good display. A few bumblebees on them. That one there's rather nice. It's deep pink centres. Blowing around in this wind. There's still zillions of nuts everywhere. I've just collected the best of them here. Oak trees get all sorts of parasites on them, and this little wasp makes them produce these oak apples. People think they're the fruit of the oak, but they aren't. They're a gall. Lots of them have produced acorns this year, but this particular tree, you can see there's the normal acorn, but most of them have some kind of problem. They've probably been parasitised by something. I'll take it in, take them in and have a look at them, see what the problem is. And this little tree, I don't know what kind of oak tree it is, it's slightly different to the rest. It's producing a nice crop of acorns. They aren't quite ripe yet. I'll keep my eye on them and pick them and germinate them. It's got a slightly smaller leaf than all the others. And yeah. Common butterflies are still enjoying what's left of the brambles, not that there's very much. Yeah, a lovely butterfly. It's beautiful when it's got its wings out in the sunshine. The growth these brambles put on every year is phenomenal. Now the brambles are finished, I'll cut them right back. You see zillions of seeds germinated. I'll spray this again once I think they've all germinated, and hopefully it'll be weed free. It's amazing just how many there are of the blooming things. And it'll be time to take all this floating duckweed off the top of the pond. It's amazing stuff. But it does provide a refuge for lots of little beasties in the roots that hang from the surface of the water. Little newts love it. Away from dragonfly larvae and other predators which are in here. Well, the onions have all died back and they're ready to lift. So that's a little job for now. They've done very well. Well, that's them all lifted. Just leave them there so the bottom's dry before I put them away in a box. Yeah, there's enough to last me there for months. And they keep very well store on. That's a variety. The other thing I have to do at this time of year is sow any grass seeds or seeds I want to grow in this meadow. So I've got some Quaker grass, some yellow rattle and some greater burnet, which I'll now sow in that piece of meadow which I cut. So I've cut on what were these cornfield flowers and raked it all off. I'm not going to sow any more. I left it until they'd all seeded, so hopefully we'll get a little display next year. But I've collected some dill seeds, which I'll just scatter on here. Not that I like dill, I don't. But it's an attractive yellow umbellifer, and insects like it. So I'll just scatter them on here. You can see the seeds there on the flower head. Just about every seed on here germinates. I'll just shake them off onto this ground, meander around. I've got 4 or 5 of these heads, thousands of seeds. Ooh, the wind is coming from the north, so I've set fire to this big pile of grass. It's ringing wet through. How long it will keep going, I don't know. But the smoke is blowing away across the fields rather than towards my neighbours' houses, which upsets one of them in particular. Well, it's the middle of October, 15th, and today it's gardening. And at this time of year, 2 things paramount. If you're going to plant bulbs, this is the time to do it while the soil is still moist and quite warm. And the other thing is to do with lawns. Anything to do with lawns, this is the time of year to do it. In my case, it's repairing damage to the lawns. But first of all, it's planting bulbs. And I've got 100 of these to put in, English bluebell bulbs, which I've bought on the internet, because digging them up in a wild is a definite no-no. And finding yourself up in court and a hefty fine. This thing is a bulb planter. But as you can see by the size of these bluebell bulbs, it's a bit over the top. But of course it's very useful if you're planting daffodils, big bulbs, daffodils or tulips. Well, it'll be interesting to see how this thing works, even though I'm not going to use it. See how easy it is. It cuts a nice neat hole, and that's the plug. So you just drop your bulb in there, put that back in and stand on it. But on this stony soil which I've got here, it's very difficult to get it down as far as that. But on more luxurious lawns without stones, I think it makes the job very easy. Or in woodland. If I wanted to plant it in nice loam, or even clay soil, I would imagine, then I would It's quite easy. So that's it, fully immersed. It goes on about 4 inches. If I just lift that out, that core comes with it. Just drop your bulb in there. Daffodil or narcissus or tulip. Some big bulb. You just put your plug back in. As you can see, it's an expensive piece of kit. It's very well made. But of course, if you're only planting a few bulbs, you don't need to lash out on something like this. This is for when you're planting several hundred bulbs. So there are cheaper versions. If you're only planting 30 or 40 bulbs, you get a cheaper version of this. But it's very efficient, except on stony ground. Anyway, back to planting these bluebell bulbs. I find the best way of planting small bulbs or corbs is to use a big heavy metal bar, like this one here. And bluebell bulbs need to be 4 inches under the ground, so about 4.5 inches up from the tip. I've just put a chalk line around so I know how far they are. Anyway, with the ground being quite soft, I just push this in and drop a bulb in. I'm going to plant the bluebells in this part here, which will be the lightest shade one. Of course, the bluebells appear before the trees get their leaves next year. So I just scatter them around. There's no placement at all. Wherever they land, make a hole and pop one in. Well, that wasn't too bad. It took me about 20 minutes to plant those bluebell bulbs, and it's good exercise. I'm probably going to have a stiff back tomorrow, but anyway. So I've got some crocus to plant and some aconites. Some bright yellow, very early flower about the same time as snowdrops. When I plant the bulbs, I make sure they're sort of well heeled in. Mice like bluebell bulbs and crocus combs, but I don't worry about which way up they are. All plants have an inbuilt mechanism as to which way is up and which way is down. They're sorted out themselves. Well, the next job is lawns, and seeing to all these bare patches, result of my over-exuberance with the old fertiliser, and burned it. Never mind. You can see there's a rather sizable number. So I need a mixture of soil, a bit of sand and grass seed. And the grass seed I've got, I don't want ryegrass, but then again I don't want bowling green mixture. I just want a sort of medium type seed, if you can call it that. The crucial thing when you're riddling soil is not to try and do too much at once. Otherwise you really do end up with backache. That's the garden soil, and I've got some coarse sand, just builder's sand to mix with it, and the grass seed without ryegrass, and a bucket to mix it all in. And I do it in layers, so that you get a nice even mix. Oh, that's the final mix. I'll probably need 2 or 3 of these buckets before I'm finished. Anyway, let's go and prepare these bare patches before we sow the seed. The first thing to do is to rough up the patch, loosen the soil, and for this I have a family heirloom. There it is. Passed from father to son. Just sprinkling some of the mix. Just bring it up to the level of the rest of the lawn. That's about right. And hopefully the birds don't eat too much of it. Right, just carry on, do the rest of them. Obviously, if you get some dry weather, which is unlikely at this time of year, we get heavy dews in the morning, keeps it moist, but if it dries out, obviously you've got to water it. There we are, that's it done. Looks like it's been a little gang of moles in here, which takes a lot more soil than you imagine. So with the back and front lawns I've used 6 buckets of soil, 15 kilos of sand and a fair amount of grass seed. Really, hopefully it will be better next year, and I'll cut back on the fertiliser. This is the pear tree, and down at the bottom you get these suckers coming up from the rootstock, and they will eventually take over and the pear tree will die. So these need constantly, you need to keep cutting them off. They're a sort of wild pear. This is the apple tree. There were 3 varieties grafted onto one stock here, but it became infested with woolly aphids, which are absolute pigs to get rid of. So yeah, I chopped it right back and thought we'd got rid of it, but I noticed on this little piece here it's made a reappearance, so I might have to cut this right back to ground level. I don't want it spreading to the other apple trees. You see it there. Once you get an infestation, you just can't get rid of the thing. Even with strong insecticides, it's very, very difficult, especially on a tree. Now you can see how this Boston ivy is taking over the whole house, which is a lovely colour. And its days are numbered as soon as those leaves fall off. So now you can see that this Boston ivy, like the one on the gable end, it turns a deep red, apart from the new shoots. You see it's spreading all over the roof. But it does look lovely at this time of year. This is what it looks like from the inside. This room's even worse, or better, depending on your point of view. But it won't be here for very much longer. As soon as those leaves fall off, I'll strip it all back. It's amazing to see. I mean, it produces all this in, what, 5 months? This is the patch of lily of the valley, and it's orange, yellow and greens as it dies off. and it just produce little berries. There's one there, a little red berry. And the glyphosate has done a wonderful job killing these weeds off on here. There's the odd little bit which is missed. I'll soon sort that out. And the beans are finished now. So what I'll do is I'll just leave the pods to dry on the plant, and then take them in, extract the seeds, and save them for next year. But they have been amazing, absolutely stringless, even when they're very mature. And of course you get the different coloured pods, which just adds a little culinary interest. Everything is beginning to change colour as autumn progresses. This is one of the red oaks. And all the leaves should have been that colour, but of course they were affected by a lack of water. Nevertheless, it's quite a stunning effect. Hopefully by mulching it'll all be like that next year. And these are the remains of that monumental pile of grass. I'll just rake it up into a heap and just get rid of the rest later. Another job that needs doing is cut these honeysuckles right back. They're just becoming big and straggly. But it's an awkward blooming job because it weaves its way in and out of this mesh. That'll have to wait for another day. Well, that's the jobs for the day done. It's going on 6:15. I'm going to see how the Brexit debate is going. Might even have some of that cockaliki soup. Wonderful. Anyway, from the garden, take care. Bye-bye. Well, as if cats weren't bad enough, you know, I've got this blooming dog shitting all over the front lawn. Just left a monumental pile of it here. There it is again, another big pile of dog shit. Yeah, almost tempted to say, come back cats, all is forgiven.